Hi, my name is John Arneson, and I am going to introduce the South African National Qualifications Framework, the NQF, to you. What I want to do is really talk you through this diagram. This is a diagram issued by the South African Qualifications Authority, and once you understand this diagram, you will have a very good grasp of the South African National Qualifications Framework. The first thing I want to point out is that the Government Department of Higher Education and Training is the department that is responsible for the legislation, the National Qualifications Framework Act, that brings the NQF into being. Secondly, I'd like to point out that in terms of that act, the South African Qualifications Framework, SAQA, is given the oversight responsibility for the implementation and the successful development of policy of the National Qualifications Framework. The third thing I want to highlight is that the South African NQF has got 10 levels, from level 1 to level 10. Different countries have different NQF levels, and so it's important to understand that the South African NQF has 10 levels. The South African NQF is also unique in that it has 3 quality councils that look after components of the NQF, or what is known as sub-frameworks of the NQF. The yellow arrow is pointing to an organization or quality council known as Umalusi, and Umalusi, in simple terms, looks after the quality of qualifications at schools in Southern Africa, or at schools in South Africa, I apologize, and it looks at qualifications that are offered by schools from level 1 to level 4. It's the blue dots. The next quality council that I want to bring your attention to is the Council on Higher Education, or more commonly known as the CHE. The CHE looks after professional and academic qualifications from level 5 to level 10, the highest level on the NQF. The third quality council that looks after a sub-framework in the South African NQF is the Quality Council for Trades and Occupations, or more commonly known as the QCTO. You can see they look after the qualifications with red dots next to them, and those qualifications can range from an NQF level 1 qualification all the way to an NQF level 8 qualification. What is important to note is that the name of your qualification is not nearly as important as the NQF level and the number of credits that your qualification has. I highlight the bachelor's degree as a very good example to show this, how important this is. So at NQF level 7, you can achieve a bachelor's degree with 360 credits, and you will have a degree. I'll be able to say, I have a bachelor's degree. But if you look there at NQF level 8, one level higher than 7, you'll also see there's a bachelor's degree. So this is a very good example of where you cannot compare one qualification to another just because the descriptor of the qualification is the same. So the higher level, the level 8 NQF with 480 credits, is certainly a higher cognitive level of learning and certainly more learning than the NQF 7 360 credit qualification. The last thing I want to point out about the South African NQF is I want to talk about the concept of parity of esteem. So you'll see I've now brought onto the screen an apple above the occupational qualification as quality assured by the QCTO, the red band organization, and a pear. That's a pear, and it's linked to the higher certificate, which is quality assured by the CHE, or the Council on Higher Education and Training. Now, for simple explanation, let's assume both of these qualifications have exactly the same number of credits, and the minimum number of credits any qualification can have to be registered on the NQF is 120 credits. So let's assume both the occupational certificate and the higher certificate have got 120 credits each at NQF level 5. This does not mean that those two qualifications are equal or equivalent. What it does mean is there's parity of esteem. In other words, there's a very similar amount of learning at the same cognitive level that has taken place, but the occupational certificate could be in a completely different space to the higher certificate. And so you cannot say that the one is directly equal to the other, but certainly they are both on the NQF, they both have equal value, and just as a pear is actually as delicious and as nutritious as an apple, the higher certificate and the occupational certificate both have value in the marketplace. It's just that they have parity of esteem and not equivalence. For more information on the South African NQF, I urge you to go to the SAQA website. It is www.saqua.org.za. There you'll find a really extensive amount of information to explain how the NQF operates in detail in South Africa. And before I close, I want to issue a challenge to you. And that challenge is for you to establish accurately what are your qualifications. And yeah, I'm assuming you've got more than one qualification. What are your qualifications, NQF levels, and their credit values? And the question related to this that really is a stretch question is, are you sure that they are properly accredited qualifications? I want to thank you for participating in this very short workshop. If you have a question or you need any help, please do not hesitate to email me at john@arnesonassociates.co.za. Thank you.